Hi, whoever we are, whether we are a child or we are a school going student or college going teenager or preparing for a competitive exam, professional or adult, one habit we all should learn, we should develop, we should inculcate, we should keep practicing to become successful is reading, because all great leaders are great readers. So whether Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, or Michael Schumacher, or Mark Zuckerberg, or Elon Musk, whoever it is, people say the key for my success, I keep reading. And if you want to be IIT topper, you want to crack NEET exam, you want to crack IAS exam, you have to keep reading. And all of us know day by day, the knowledge is exploding. If you go to Google and type one word motivation, you get tons and tons and tons of information. Means our lifetime is not enough to go through every book. So the key for all this is about speed reading. And we at Jayasimha Mind Education, we help you how you can read a book so fast by learning these speed reading techniques. But many people, they say that I read, but I don't seem to remember, I don't seem to understand, I don't seem to get benefited from the knowledge of this book. So reading by itself is not going to transform you unless you know what are the types of reading. There are basically 4 types of reading. So you know, to become IAS, you should read. Now I'm talking about 4 types of reading. IAS, add one E before, IAS. Now if you remember these 4 letters, you understand the 4 types of reading. First one is E, means elementary reading. Elementary means like when you are in the elementary school, you are illiterate, someone actually narrating a story. So sometimes you seem to get the outline of the entire subject. Now this is called what? Elementary reading. So for a minute, before you try to understand what this book is all about, so you scan through the pages of this book, read the title of the book, and then see the chapter names, and then look at some cartoons, some pictures, some tables, and then read about the author, and then try to read the gist of the book. This is elementary reading, means you get some outline idea about this book. The first one is elementary. The second one is I means inspectional reading. What do you mean by inspection? Inspection means when you go for inspecting any office, you are a supervisor, you want to inspect, and you are inspecting a subordinate where he might go wrong, or out of your experience, what are you looking at it? What's the problem area? So inspectional reading is you try to look at the bullet points, you try to look at the main points of the book. Inspectional reading. So you get little more deeper idea. So people who have done the elementary reading, they do the inspectional reading, means they know that if this is a subject, now this is what I'm interested in. So I'm reading a book about motivation, I'm reading a book about time management, I'm reading a book about stress management. So I know this is what is my problem area, what is the solution. So this is, you are trying to find a solution for the problem. It's called inspectional reading, means you scan through the book. This is called inspectional reading. Now third one is called A means analytical reading. Now that's when a reader try to converse with an author. You heard me right. You try to converse with an author. So an author has written something. When you read, now you are trying to converse with the author. You try to understand the mindset. Now what is he trying to convey to you? That's when you try to underline some points. You try to make some notes at the left side. You try to make some notes at the right side. You take one highlighter and you try and underline all those main points. This is called analytical reading. So you understand the deeper meaning of this. That's when you try to get the actual meaning, actual intent of the author. The fourth one is called syntopical reading. Syntopical reading, syntopical reading. I'm sure many of you might not have heard. Now that's where when you do syntopical reading, you are actually going to get benefit from this book. So what do? Imagine I'm reading a book on time management. Earlier, I've read many more time management books. So you try to compare this book with those books that you read earlier, maybe with this author, with some other author. When you look at a movie on Mahabharata, you try to compare this movie with some other movie on the same Ramayana. So you read a book about Indian history. Now some other author also might have written a book about Indian history. So try to compare. So what is special in this book? What is something contrast? What did that author say and what this author is saying? What is a different perspective? Same idea, how is it being present in a different way? So you try to compare, you try to contrast what are the similarities and what are the dissimilarities. You try to find out similar and dissimilar, and you find out that. Now that's when you actually try to internalize the entire concept, and then you try to become a little more wiser. And when you go back into actual field, you try to apply this wisdom, this knowledge in a profession, your academics. So this is how you need to actually approach reading. And if you go through these 4 types of reading, I'm sure you are going to get the best out of the book. So speed reading is very essential. But if you don't know the 4 types of reading, then you may say, I've read 100 books like Warren Buffett, like Bill Gates, like Mark Zuckerberg, like Elon Musk, but still I have not got benefited. Like many people, they come and tell me that they've gone through Quran, they've gone through Bible, they've gone through Bhagavad Gita, they've gone through Vedas, Upanishad, Puranas, but they made no difference. It's good you say that I have gone through Gita. The question is, did Gita go through you? That's the question. That's when there's going to be transformation. For Gita to go through you, now this book, now this essence to go through you, you need to go through the 4 stages of reading. So EIAS, E means elementary reading. So understand that you don't have any idea, like an illiterate, you try to get the idea of the book, what this book is talking about. Next one is I means inspectional reading. So you scan through the book and then you try to find out what are those areas that you are interested in trying to learn. Now third one is analytical reading. So you try to converse with the author, you try to make some notes at the left and right, you try to underline, so you try to get the gist of it. And the fourth one is synoptical reading. That's when you try to compare this book with some other book of the same subject. Maybe now this author with some other author, maybe now a book which is written in this era with a book that's written now 100, 50, 75 years earlier. So you try to compare, you try to find similarities and dissimilarities, and that's when you try to understand the book, and that gets in, and that's when that Gita, that Quran, that Bible, that book is going to make a difference to you. So when you hear somebody talking about speed reading, so just simply don't go through the book, but try to understand that when I go through this book, what am I looking at? This book, that knowledge, that wisdom, now that entire experience of the author should benefit me. Now, if that is your intention, you need to go through the 4 stages of reading. So, EIS, elementary, inspectional, analytical and synoptical. If you can follow these 4 kinds of reading, I'm sure you are going to get the best out of this book, and that is going to make a lot of difference. And at Jayasimha Mind Education, with my 10 years of experience on reading and then on memory, on research, I had been training along with my colleagues on how to improve your memory, how you can speed read, how you can remember what you read. So if you're interested, contact us and we are there to help you not only speed read but also get best of the book. And not only that, you remember what you read, you'll be able to impart the same thing to other people. So this is Jayasimha, the President, Indian Memory Council, only Indian with maximum Guinness World Records, waiting to hear from you so that we can be part of the team to go through this memory and speed reading workshop. So remember the 4 types of reading. So this is Jayasimha signing off. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.